Okay, so this is the first time I've seen them in quite some time. I'm glad to see them back in the scene. I was a fan of them when they were playing frequently before and doing production things as soon as there we go. Now we're talking. Left side of your map is going to be ASU's Hero of the Dorm team. Shot on Greymane, Snickers on Johanna, Michael Udall on the Thrall, a.k.a. Face on Rhaegar, Fam on Li Ming. And that is your team ACU right there.
And PPST going to have King Plato playing the Zul, Apollo on Muradin, Semi-Cute on... Wow, actually a lot of damage going on the shot already.
Ooh, wow.
I think he's dead here. Yeah, very easy first kill there. Getting caught by King Plato and his roots. But Danley for 3 and Prismatism as well running out the team. And well, looks like we're going to be seeing one of those base races.
Yep. And as of right now, it looks like that ASU has the advantage going into this. Yeah, they have a little bit of an advantage. They already have both the towers down, working on the gate right now, while Players and Tangos are just now getting to work on the gate here. And of course, Sky Temple, when it comes down to the objective, the more structures you can take out and damage without the utilization of the objective, the more valuable that objective therein becomes, because it gets them closer to the more valuable structures.
Getting so low, he does just barely get away. If Apollo had that last Stormbolt ready, that could have been a very secure kill. They did even under fort for that, not able to get that, but this 3-lane push in the top lane still doing some work. Same with the 3-lane push in the bottom lane for ASU, and it looks like it's just going to be a very early fort for fort.
Yeah, I mean, that is an interesting dynamic going into these objectives here, because obviously the first wave is the temples and the as I say that, they spawn right there, the middle and the top one. So if Players and Tangos can pick up that top one, it immediately starts putting more pressure onto the mid one, and then the second phase is the bottom temple, and that will put pressure into the bottom temple. So yeah, it's going to be interesting going on what these teams are going to do as far as what are they going to put more priority into with these temple phases. Right now, we already see quite an experience advantage actually here for Players and Tangos, a full level advantage and level 4 talent tier advantage.
Yeah, this is huge for PPST, and they're able to secure the top shrine pretty easily here. Looks like Lunara and Greymane are rotating down. They're going to be able to contest these middle shots, and this is a huge experience lead for PPST.
Yeah, it's on the shoulders of them able to just base trade like that, and we see ASU is starting to poke and try to bully them off of this. It is a 4v3 favoring ASU. So they are going to be able to gain control of that as their Muradin is up in the top. And now Muradin thinking about rotating down. Yeah, he stopped being on top of it. And actually, all the meanwhile, down to the bottom lane, Michael Udall gets a solo kill onto Zul.
Yep, good job so far of ASU controlling most of these mid shots here. That looks like the last of them will actually end up going over to PPST, it looks like. So the last few shots from mid going over to them with the shots from both top and mid secured. They did a lot of damage to this middle fort.
Yeah.
And when you look at the structure lead, PPST, not only a full level experience lead, but very good structure lead as well.
There we go. So Michael Udall being able to pick up that Zul solo pick was, I would say, would be generally in normal circumstances would be a significant pickup. But I mean, just because they are back so much, it didn't even put a dent in the experience disadvantage. Still just that full level lead. They are falling back to their Siege Ogres. And meanwhile, Zagara is trying to pick up their Siege Ogres as well. And that's because the next temple phase is going to be in that bottom lane. So teams generally try to amp up and get some pressure into that bottom lane prior to that, picking to the siege camps, making sure they push out the lanes, get damage to the structures, so on and so forth. And as well as pick up the bruiser camp to put some split pressure up in that top lane.
Do you know if you're dropping frames? Because I don't even see the stream anymore.
I am not.
Okay.
No.
Maybe Twitch is just being weird.
Yeah, I've dropped 100 frames the entire broadcast. So maybe a couple at a time, but
okay.
I'm looking at it now. You're right. It's super choppy for me as well on my end too. For those of you still watching, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's not on my end. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think Twitch just may be a little bit frustrating to deal with right now. No other way to put it.
All right, well, let's just continue on as is for now. Full level lead still here for PPST. They're maintaining that 3-lane soak. They've taken out one fort in top. They've taken out both front walls in mid and bottom, and both those forts are starting to take some damage, and just showing the value of siege on this map. Sieging heroes in the game with Zul, Zagara, and Lunara. So Zul getting caught here, popping that armor very quickly.